Today FM is awesome in Ba. We love you, Today FM.
Today FM rocks in the story, and I love listening to Today FM.
Today FM is #1 in Telew.
Today FM rocks in Lotaka. Woohoo!
Today FM is the most popular station in Nasino.
We love everything about Today FM here at Golden Point Reki Reki.
Everybody in Singapore loves Today FM.
Today FM rocks in Ba.
Bulan 2 sa Tolu FM, enapan 2 Raki-Raki.
Bula FM namban 2 in Nosor.
Go etabo ke bota kola sa Bula FM nga.
Bula FM namban 2 Korbu.
Bula FM namban 2 Sawa. Bula FM namban 2 Lotoka. Bula.
Namban 2 ng Bula FM member.
Bula FM namban 2 NSR in Singapore.
Kalau tali tak ada warung yang Bula FM Lotoka.
Ali akar warung Bula FM namban 2 NSR.
In the news tonight, Health Ministry reduces price of glucometers. Prime Minister concerned about complaints about education services. And lived realities come alive on the canvas at art exhibition. Good evening, I'm Amrita Priyadarshini and you're with FBC News. Over 100,000 people suffer from diabetes, and this staggering figure reflects the seriousness of the disease and the impact it has on our population. Christopher Chand reports World Diabetes Day was celebrated in Lautoka today to create awareness for the public.
World Diabetes Day was marked with a march through the Sugar City led by the Minister of Health and students of Natambua High School this morning.
It's NCD month for Ministry of Health, and diabetes is the focus because World Diabetes Day falls on November 14th. And we've chosen the West to be the center of attraction. We move around the country every year. So this year is Lautoka City.
Despite rigorous awareness being carried out about this illness, there's much more to be desired.
People outside in the community, because they think that diabetes is a sin. It's you have got it because you are bad, or it's a bad luck.
When I first got my machine from the government pharmacy in Suva, it was about $10 for the machine and about $8 for the 1 month supply of strips. Today is 70 bloody bucks. I'm retired, I'm not earning. So where am I going to get 70 bucks from?
The Ministry of Health has today revealed that the price of glucometers will be brought down.
The cost is definitely a thing, and as Minister has alluded to, that cost of $70 will bring it down to $40 with the budget.
1 in 3 people will have diabetes. The onus is on us to improve our eating habits and maintain a physically active lifestyle. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
A family of Valelevu in Nasinu is mourning the death of a son in a car crash. The 29-year-old salesman and his 2 passengers were in a car which hit a lamppost at Yasi Road in Nandera early this morning. The driver was pronounced dead on arrival at Suva CWM Hospital. Police say both the passengers fled the scene, and there are indications alcohol consumption was a factor in the accident. The group is believed to have been returning from a night out. Police have issued a reminder to motorists to refrain from driving under the influence of alcohol. The Education Ministry will need to relook at how it provides services to schools and parents in 2014, with the new initiatives announced by Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama and the 2014 national budget. Bainimarama says in his travels around the country, he has received numerous complaints concerning children's education. Abisalamedoka reports.
Members of staff in the Prime Minister's office were this week informed of the public's perception of the civil service. Although the school year is about to end, the Education Ministry was under scrutiny according to complaints received by the Prime Minister.
Last week on, if I remember Wednesday, I was in Delhi. I received constant calls from parents in Honolulu, especially in Masa and Bua. Parents that went up to Vodafone to have the kids e-tickets topped up. There was no funding from Vodafone. When I got the education officials together on Wednesday night, when we talked over that, they said that there was a gap between what they thought was supposed to happen and what that was really happening between Vodafone and them. And I told them, over the last 4 or 5 years, we provided these systems. There should be no more gaps now.
Bainimarama emphasized that it is all about service to the people.
As I go around the rural areas, I have received complaints about kids that still pay their bus fare because money has not been forthcoming from the education department. And it's about service, really, this is what I'm trying to tell you. It's about service.
The Education Ministry is aware of what the Prime Minister expects in 2014.
During the Cabinet Subcommittee, I talked to the Minister and the officials of the Education Department by telling them how concerned I was. Because we're going to give them the biggest budget, and in previous years we've received consistent complaints from parents about the utilization of budgets.
According to Bainimarama, he does not want any more complaints from parents and guardians concerning school fees or bus fares next year. The government has introduced free education in primary and secondary schools in 2014. As well as that program, it supports students whose parents' joint income are less than $15,000 with free bus vouchers to attend school. Apisalome Doka, FBC News.
Police in Savu are questioning an 84-year-old man for rape. The suspect was taken into custody after a 16-year-old relative lodged a complaint at the police station. It is alleged the girl was raped 3 times in Savu between 2011 and last year. 5 local artists have created their own space to display their artwork to the public in Suva. Shireen Lata reports the Kundru 2 exhibition is attention of a different kind.
The artwork includes pieces which have been described as a strong work or pretty heavy because of the array of issues reflected in them. Corruption and violence against women, to name a few.
Every painting I've seen is so out of the box, you know, like it's nothing I could have thought of in my mind, like, oh, I've seen this before. I know, it's just very different. It's very unique.
The Kundru 2 art exhibition is a documentation of what is going in the country and how the artists strongly feel about those issues.
When we decided on this title, it was really to get the artists to think about this word in the context of what's happening in Fiji and the issues that we are confronted with.
It's also about the skill of the artists and their continued effort to develop and improve not only their techniques, but about the creative process and depth in their work. For Anare Somumu, it's a privilege to participate in this exhibition, following a successful outing in the first one held in 2011.
Our aim for this exhibition is to give back to society as artists, to use our God-given talents to give back to society by painting things that concern us as artists, things that we see around us happening in society, failures of society, and we would like to highlight or address that using art.
The exhibition at the Suva Playhouse will end next Saturday. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
Coming up, preparations are underway for Lautoka City's biggest development.
It's always Gold FM for us at Golden Point, Raki Raki.
Gold FM is #1 in Lusaka.
Gold FM is Nandi's best radio station.
It's always Gold FM with us here in Singatoka.
Old is gold and Gold FM is #1 here in Lautoka.
Singatoka loves classic hits on Gold FM.
We listen to Gold FM here in Tagua.
We love Gold FM in Ba.
We've got beautiful beaches, people, and Gold FM in Raki Raki.
Lautoka loves the classic hits on Gold FM.
Talita na radio Fiji One na mwirani nondo bonua.
Ando talita kana borrongo na radio Fiji One Singatoka boleta ni station ni Alumatua.
Ando talita ka bale una borrongo na radio Fiji One station ni Alumatua Lautoka.
Ando talita ka bale una borrongo na radio Fiji One Nandi na station ni Alumatua.
Au tuloy korbo. Ando borrongo leve na station ni Alumatua na radio Fiji One. Ando borrongo na radio Fiji One na station ni Alumatua. Nambandoi tele.
Welcome back to FBC News. A Fijian soldier threatened with deportation after twice fighting for Britain in Afghanistan has been allowed to stay after the Home Secretary intervened personally on his behalf. Filimone Ladhanivalu was due to be flown back to Fiji tomorrow night. The Telegraph reports Ladhanivalu has been detained for about a month at an immigration centre after he went to see officials to clear up his residency status. The former private claims that when he left the army in 2010, officials there did not pass on the correct paperwork, which would have allowed him to stay until after a 28-day deadline had passed. He was allowed to leave the centre last night. Work is underway at a section of Lautoka's Churchill Park, which will become the new home of one of the Tapu Group investments. The company bought a sizable piece of land from the City Council, and it is located adjacent to the entrance of the park facilities. Group Chairman Kanti Tapu said they are positive about Fiji's investment environment, and that is why they are constructing a world-class shopping precinct in Lautoka. Directors of the Tapu Group were at the park today to supervise the preparations for the site. Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama will officially launch development at the site as well as the architectural design for the state-of-the-art complex on Wednesday. The Fiji Cancer Society's Interim Board of Trustees has set the ball rolling to strengthen the organization and put it on a better footing. Apart from investigating all the financial records, the trustees are also reviewing the Cancer Society's constitution. Ritika Pratap has more.
The new trustees of the Fiji Cancer Society have met 3 times so far. They have found that many financial records and documents are missing, and a deliberate attempt was made to remove all records from the computer hard drive.
Some of the items that are missing are being investigated, and what we want to do is we hope to compile a very comprehensive review of the financial status before we can comment on whether there's been any financial anomalies.
Dr. Fong, one of the interim trustees, says the society is working with CWM cancer unit nurses and a pharmacist to strengthen supplies inventory and document the movement of donated items.
One of the measures is to try and make sure that we have ongoing provision of supportive services for patients with cancer. And also to continue receiving all the donations that are coming in from passionate members of the public who continues to support the ideals of the Fiji Cancer Society.
To define the role of the board and the trustees, the society's current constitution is also under review.
Make sure that the constitution is such that the board will adhere all the time to the rules and regulations of the Fiji Cancer Society in their daily operations, in how they make decisions, in how they hire people, fire people, those type of things.
Dr. Fong says the review is expected to complete in 3 months. The trustees are hopeful that a new board can be elected into office by February at the latest. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Transportation in the Eastern Division will remain a problem until and unless there are consistent shipping services. The Commissioner Eastern's office says these problems could be very much felt this festive season. Apisalomelaka reports.
Disruptions to shipping services to the islands in the Eastern Division can be expected over the festive season with the announcement that a shipping company is withdrawing its service to sail in the Pacific region and that some government vessels are unable to sail.
We know right now the 3 government vessels are all under maintenance and repair right now, and most of these government shipping vessels, they are awaiting parts from overseas.
Another company has been approached to assist. Enrique says it will need to meet a few conditions before its vessel can take passengers to the islands. The owners of Gaunda Shipping and Vanu Shipping, both companies that provide services to the Eastern Division, were not available for comments. Meanwhile, Rika says the shipping problems have affected some small developments on the island.
A few of them that will be carried forward due to that, but some of the major projects will be done this year. We have still here November and December.
In the medium to long term, the government has plans to revamp its shipping fleet to improve accessibility to remote islands and facilitate more trade and development in the maritime region. In the 2014 national budget, the Prime Minister announced that $9 million will be provided for 2 new vessels to service remote maritime communities and to assist in supplying material and machinery for development works on these islands. Another $7 million will be allocated for a new landing craft to transport both cargo and passengers to outer islands. In the meantime, travelers may want to arrange their sea travel plans early to avoid inconveniences, especially with the school holidays setting in and as people prepare to their islands for Christmas and New Year's holidays. Api Salome Doka, FBC News.
The work of 19 artists who use their talents to raise awareness about non-communicable diseases are on display at the Fiji National University campus in Rewai, Suva. Neelam Raj tells us more.
The exhibition is titled Sokota, which is an Itoke concept meaning to embark on a voyage, and the artists have been preparing for months.
So the idea was, well, can we actually engage with the creative community, which is very strong in the Pacific? Can we engage with them, help them to understand what non-communicable diseases are, and then work with them to see if they can put together something, using their creative form, to send a message to people in the population.
The exhibition is an outcome of the Educating for Sustainable Lifestyles Through Arts project. It is aimed at raising public awareness and dialogue on NCDs. University of the South Pacific education lecturer Crescentia Koya believes creating awareness amongst teachers can also make a difference.
How do we transform first the students that I teach, the future teachers, so that they will then go and transform their own classrooms? Because if you manage to touch one teacher, you're essentially touching thousands of children.
These artists are sharing their interpretations through their work about what it means to be well in the current socio-economic, political and cultural context of the 21st century. The exhibition closes tomorrow. Neelam Raj, FBC News.
Coming up in sports news, new champions expected in Bailey's Coral Coast Sevens. And Lautoka athletes shine in Western FMF Chow Games.
Bato bahay, ba में रेडियो Fiji 2 के कौन सा के रोके ऑनलाइन क्लियर
रेडियो Fiji 2 रग-रगी के लोग ज्यादा सुनते हैं।
नैनी में हम सबकी पसंद रेडियो Fiji 2।
तालेबू के लोग रेडियो Fiji 2 सबसे ज्यादा सुन रहे हैं।
मेरी पसंद रेडियो Fiji 2, मसूरी में सभी को पसंद रेडियो Fiji 2।
तावा में रेडियो Fiji 2 सभी कोई सुनते हैं। रेडियो Fiji 2 रॉक।
रेडियो Fiji 2 I love you।
Old Town Tawa में it's only Mirchi FM.
Mirchi FM is hot। ताकि हर घर में खाली Mirchi FM बजे। Mirchi FM is hot।
Best sound, best music, Mirchi FM rocks in record.
Nani का #1 station है Mirchi FM। Mirchi FM is hot। Mirchi FM it's #1 in nursery।
लोटोका में Mirchi FM is hot। हम लोग Mirchi FM रोज सुनता है। Mirchi FM डागो मामा।
Welcome to FPC Sports. A new champion will be crowned in the men's and women's competition of the Bailey's Coral Coast Sevens later this evening. Army made easy work of defending champions Red Rock in the semi-finals, winning 29-12. National 7 squad member Emosi Mulevoro scored 2 tries in the space of 3 minutes to see Army through. Another national squad member, Donasio Rotumbuli, was instrumental for his Yamadhya side as they defeated Tapu Talembambas in the second semi-final, winning 29-5. Meanwhile, in the women's division, Nivea Murray Seahawks caused a major upset by beating defending champions Aussie Pearls 12-10 in the semis. They will face off against the Fijiana side, which defeated Tribe 10-5 in the second semi-final. The Lautoka athlete squad has taken out the Western FMF Chow Games on home turf at Churchill Park today. The Maroons maintained their lead from day one, holding off a strong challenge from defending champions Nandronga as well as Nandi. Chalindo Zakadaka reports.
Competition was literally neck to neck on the final day of the Western Chow Games. A good sign this year has been the increase in the number of districts from 6 to 8, which has seen a fair share of medals.
Last year we had Nandronga dominating in all aspects, but this year we have Lautoka, Nandi, Navosa and all the rest of the districts preparing well and putting up a good show, especially in the track events.
With all the Western districts making an appearance in this year's games, the challenge lies on organizers to ensure this is the same for the coming years.
We are looking at ways to making it more affordable for our districts to come. Things are getting expensive, transport costs are getting expensive, cost of food for feeding them while they're in camp during the games is expensive. So we are trying to make it an affordable one. So we are relying on co-sponsors to work together with us in order for us to be able to assist and help our districts.
Lautoka never relinquished their hold on the top spot in the medals tally and have now stamped their mark as the premier district in the Western Division. Salendo Rakadak, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, Silver Blues proved too strong in the Central FMF Chow Games at the ANZ Stadium today. The capital city side completely dominated the boys and girls divisions, with the boys showing their superiority on the tracks and in the field events. The girls division showed more promise of competition, but alas, the Blues were able to come through once again. In the end, Silver Blues collected the boys' title and were out of reach from their closest rival, Nasinu, who settled for second, with Northland finishing third. In the girls' division, Suva again topping the charts ahead of Nasinu and Suva White. Vodafone Fiji Mbati coach Rick Stone has named a 19-member squad to prepare for the quarter-final clash against Samoa. Now, back rower Jason Bukuya has been included in the lineup, while Aquila Uate is expected to return to the right-wing position. An interesting note is who Stone will opt for as 5'8". Will it be veteran playmaker Alipate Noilea or the skillful Ryan Millard? And the Bati will face Samoa at 4 a.m. on Monday, with the starting 13-man lineup to be named 90 minutes before kickoff. New Zealand is the first team to book a spot in the semi-finals after defeating a hapless Scotland side 44 today. The Kiwis ran in 8 tries with Jesse Bromwich, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck and Bryson Goodwin grabbing a brace of tries each. The Bravehearts managed to cross the chalk only once in the 57th minute through winger Alex Hurst. Jared Haynes' Australian Kangaroos side will take on the USA Tomahawks in the next quarter-final clash at 2 a.m. tomorrow, with host England to take on France later in the evening. The Vodafone Fiji Mbati side will meet Samoa at 4 a.m. on Monday. Fiji light heavyweight boxer Isaiah Junior Mako will test his undefeated record against Kiwi boxer Sam Rapira in Hamilton, New Zealand tonight. The fight will be an undercard to David Tua's WBA Pan-African heavyweight title clash against Russian fighter Alexander Ustinov. A feature of this fight is that Mako's opponent is a rising star in New Zealand, and he will be out to prove that he can perform in the big league.
Sam Rapira has had 4 professional fights. He's won them all out on knockouts, and he's being built up as a future light heavyweight for New Zealand. He spars in the David Tua camp. He's looked after by Deco Promotions, and the fight against Junior Mako is, they believe, is a stepping stone for him to higher things, and it could work both ways because we are looking at a stepping stone for Mako into higher things.
Mako is being accompanied by trainer and Fiji's former golden boy Sakaraya Ve. The fight will begin at 8 p.m. today. Showers and thunderstorms were experienced over the northern, central and eastern divisions today. There was a burst of fine weather in the morning in the west, then it rained in the afternoon. And temperatures were in the high 20s and 31 degrees in 4 centres around the country. More showers and thunderstorms are expected for most of the centres tomorrow. Now for the further outlook, a strong wind warning remains in force for southwest Viti Levu, Batuira and Kandavu Passage, Korosi and southern Lao waters. Recapping our main stories, the price of glucometers will be reduced from $70 to $40. A 29-year-old salesman was killed when his car crashed into a lamppost in Nasinu early this morning. And a Fijian soldier who was facing deportation is now able to remain in the UK after the immigration minister intervened in his case. To our poll question now. And are you pleased with the 2014 national budget? Go to www.fbc.com.fj to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That is all from us tonight. I will be back tomorrow. You can follow all the action at the Bailey's Coral Coast 7s right here on FBCTV after the news. Good night.
Today FM is awesome in Ba. We love you, Today FM.
Today FM rocks in the story and I love listening to Today FM.
Today FM is #1 in Telev.
Today FM rocks in Lotaka. Woohoo!
Today FM is the most popular station in Nasino.
We love everything about Today FM here at Golden Point Reki Reki.
Everybody in Singataka loves Today FM.
Today FM rocks in Ba.